a little stream now. Just a short one. Having kind of a migraine, but I wanted to come online just to be here to do a little bit of stuff. I still have a few seed containers where I want to sow out. So yeah, I will be sowing out a little bit, and then yeah, later, maybe in an hour, I will end the stream again. But yeah, for now, I want to sow out some of the seeds that I still have left. So I just had an interesting kind of cross here. Hercules crossed with Bamboy. That's pretty good. I like that. Sounds great. Great parentage and all that, you know. Okay. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. So yeah, back again. And still sowing out some of the Uwe Kahle seeds. Oops. Oops. Almost dropped them. Okay. Okay. So here's something that I wanted to show you. The soil has dried up completely. That is often bad for sowing out. When you have a soil that is this puffy, that has this kind of, I don't know, dry surface, it sometimes can't take the water in again. So that's not good when you are sowing out. Sometimes it's great when you can sow out directly out of the bag straight into the soil when it's wet. That is sometimes. Hey Luke, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. Great that you're here. I'm still sowing out. And yeah, we're sowing out Uwe Kahle seeds. Appreciate that you join us. Hey mate, Sal. We're sowing out. Took a little bit longer today. I have like a migraine, but there's no way to, like, you got to show up, you know. You got to show up for the job, or you will never make it. Like, it's important to have these work ethics, even when you're not feeling great, you know. So yeah, we're sowing out a little bit, but the soil has already dried since yesterday. It's not how I used to do it, because when you put in the water, it will bubble up, it will move the seeds into the cracks and all. Not ideal. Okay, a little bit water, and later we will check the seedlings from the last week to see if we have a few seedlings here and there, because I've seen some. I was pleasantly surprised. The wood oven that I'm using to induce the germination, it works. I was a little bit unsure, you know. Sometimes when you are using a wood fire to heat, it becomes hard to kind of regulate the heat. It's either super hot or not hot enough, but it's working. It has, at least in some of them, induced the germination, so I'm happy with that. The soil is this is cemetery soil, a kind of product made for you know, for display on the cemetery. They are made, this is made so it can't be easily overgrown, and that can work for cacti, because it keeps away the weeds. But on the other hand, you know, it's a little bit too organic, to use it like as a general recommendation. If you want to, like, my recommendation is to just use sowing soil. The soil that I'm using here, it doesn't really matter, because in the first few months they will be wet, they will be in the closed bag, and the soil will stay like that for a while. So you, no matter what you put them in, it doesn't, like, the evaporation of humidity isn't a problem, but the moment you take them out, it will be, you know. But sowing soil is a very simple soil that I recommend, that you can get everywhere, and it's perfect for cactus seedlings too. I mean, it's not a good cactus soil for long term, for later on, but in the beginning, the young cacti need a lot more humidity. So in that case, that will work great. Later on, minerals work better, a mineral soil, but I'm trying to move away from it, just because I don't want to work around minerals for the rest of my life, you know. Because you have that mineral dust everywhere. You knock over pots left and right. It just happens, you know. Is that some kind of a gang sign? I'm not sure if that is a gang sign. I'm rather not saying it if it's like, you know, like, can you say 67? I mean, what is that? I hope it's not something like a criminal organization or something like that. But yeah, 67. Or do you mean because of football? Like, oh, I'm not up to date with the memes, you know. A few. I used to get my memes on Reddit or something like that, but at the moment you can't use the page. It's just full of politics. You can't see, like, you don't find anything else, you know. So I've stayed away from all these platforms for a while, because everywhere there's just arguing, hate. I don't want to see that. I mean, I know it's there, you know. But I love memes, but I kind of, in the last years, I've been moving away a little bit from them. Also on my accounts where I post, I used to post a lot of memes, but I don't know, it didn't feel like fun anymore. People were arguing all the time in the comments, you know. It was just, you were posting stuff, and I don't know, people were arguing about everything. When I post cactus stuff, the arguing is not so big, it's not so bad, you know. I just want to enjoy going online, enjoy my profile, where, you know, and when I look through the comments and there's arguments, even about memes, that kind of led me to walking away from it a little bit. My favorite food, I don't know. Let me think. I really like pizza. Pizza is great, and yeah, that kind of stuff. Nothing really. I can eat something really great in a restaurant, but I'm also doing great in a fast food joint. You know, I don't really have high expectations on the kind of meals. You know, I'm not the guy that spends a long time in the kitchen. You know, I would, if I had a little bit less stress right now. Maybe at some point when I retire, I will go into the kitchen and I'll stream, like, you know, I'm doing a little bit of kitchen show here and there. But for now, my what happened to my Trichocereus subdenudata hybrids? I'm not sure. I think I have some. I have made that cross. I've grown seedlings from others. But you know, the problem with the collection of my sizes, I make sure they make it. I make sure they survive. And at some point, you gotta put them out with the others, and then you lose track of them. But I should have one or two of these, you know. But I haven't seen them in a while, you know. I might as well have lost one or two of them, but I don't think I did. Yeah, I mean the cross is pretty classic. It almost always produces a similar kind of body. Subdenudata just makes everything a little bit rounder, more bloated. It has a really cool look. I like these hybrids, and they've been around since the 1950s, you know. There are many different ones. So, yeah, good hybrid to make a cross if you just want to have a cool body. But the flower, I mean, the flower is white, so you can influence the shape with subdenudata, and subdenudata has a beautiful shape. It opens up nicely, so that can be good for crosses. But you also have to bring in color, and with subdenudata on a white flowering mother, you won't make it, you know. And the reverse cross is more difficult because subdenudata has this long tube, and that long tube means it probably needs pollen from species with a long tube to successfully pollinate it. There are exceptions. Sometimes they accept the pollen, but if a plant has a long flower tube, like, you know, like these classic Echinopsis have, it can be difficult to pollinate them with pollen from species that have a short tube, like Trichocereus, like most of the Trichocereus. You know, they have some shorter to medium-sized tubes, and it really matters because the pollen needs to get down to the ovum. That is what will grow into the fruit at the bottom of the flower. And if the pollen isn't made to get there through the tube of that pollen thing, it will not be able to pollinate it. That is the problem with the reverse cross. But Trichocereus with subdenudata crosses very well with subdenudata as father. Yeah. What are you cooking, Luke? Luke's cooking dinner. What are you cooking? How many? I don't have many. I have one plant, one Echinopsis subdenudata, and I haven't been able to give it a good spot in the last years because it's just, you know, it's a plant that I have for that specific cross, you know, for exactly just to get that kind of body. And because of that, it has a very limited use. So it gets the mediocre kind of spot.